My name's Ava. I'm a Scorpio.
No. What's your last name?
Oh, Ava Combs.
What's your other last name?
Ava Baron.
Ava Baron Combs? Yes, it was breaking news. Diddy adopted a white child.
Diddy's adopted daughter exposed what his black kids did. Diddy once paraded her around as the white daughter he saved from the streets, but now she's back. And what she's saying might just end the Combs legacy for good. For years, Ava Baron was seen as the adopted white girl in Diddy's circle, taken under his wing, styled like a family, and raised alongside Christian Combs. But then she vanished. No press, no goodbye, just gone. Whispers grew louder. Insiders hinted she'd seen too much, that her silence wasn't voluntary. And now she's resurfaced, and the things she's saying, they're disturbing. She's hinting at coercion, control, and being used as a pawn in Diddy's image game. She describes being pulled into a world of power, drugs, manipulation, and kept close not out of love, but to protect what Diddy built, because she knew things.
I want you to tell them the story about how I adopted you. But you still have beautiful parents but you're my child also. But please tell the story.
So, I was on the streets, and then Papa Combs decided that he would like to be a caring man. So then he saw me and decided to pick me up and said to come inside and play with his kids.
In 2020, during one of his Instagram live sessions at the height of the pandemic, Diddy made a surprising announcement. He introduced a young white girl named Ava Baron to his audience, not as a guest, not as a friend, but as his adopted daughter. It was supposed to be a heartwarming moment. Diddy painted it as a gesture of compassion, bringing in a troubled girl, giving her a chance, a new life. He beamed with pride, saying she was like family now. Ava, in her teens at the time, sat quietly beside him, nodding, smiling, and the fans reacted quickly. Some followers applauded him. Comments poured in, calling him a role model. They praised the move as progressive. Diddy, the hip-hop mogul and black billionaire, extending love across racial lines. But others weren't buying it. A few voices asked who this girl was. Where did she come from? Was this real adoption or just a PR move? There were no legal documents, no background, no one had heard of her before that stream. Then Ava disappeared from Diddy's public life just as fast as she appeared. No more mentions, no interviews, no photos. But Ava's silence since that live stream raised questions, and now her return is raising alarms. Ava Baron has re-emerged, this time not next to Diddy, but on her own terms. In a series of recent videos posted to a private social media account that was quickly shared across platforms, Ava tells a very different story than the one Diddy spun back in 2020. According to her, the so-called adoption was staged. There were no papers, no legal guardianship, just cameras, attention, and a carefully crafted image Diddy wanted to show the world. She claims that behind the scenes, she was never treated like family. Instead, she says she felt like a prop, a talking point meant to soften Diddy's image during a time when his public persona was under fire. In one of her clips, Ava talks about the emotional manipulation she endured in the Combs home. She describes a controlling environment where silence was expected, obedience was rewarded, and personal boundaries were blurred. She says there were moments when she tried to speak up, to ask questions, but was met with pressure to conform and stay quiet. She didn't name every incident in detail, but the tone of her claims paints a chilling picture. According to Ava, she wasn't brought in out of kindness, she was used. And this wasn't just about Diddy. But Ava didn't just name Diddy in her expose, she said Diddy's own kids played a part too. Ava specifically called out Christian Combs, Diddy's son, in her statements. She didn't accuse him of direct abuse, but what she described was a household culture that felt toxic and cold. She claims that Christian treated her more like an outsider than a sister. According to Ava, he carried himself with arrogance and entitlement, used to getting what he wanted and not used to being questioned. What makes these claims even more disturbing is that Christian is already facing legal trouble. He's being sued by Grace O'Malley, a woman who says he assaulted her on a yacht earlier this year. That case alone had many questioning what's really happening behind the Combs family's polished image. Ava's claims add another layer. She says she witnessed incidents, uncomfortable exchanges, power plays, verbal aggression, not just from Diddy, but also from people around him, including Christian. She hinted that some of the behavior felt normalized, like it was learned. Like the younger Combs kids were picking up patterns from their father. There's no proof yet of Christian's involvement in Ava's situation, but her comments have reignited conversations about privilege, image control, and the unseen dynamics inside wealthy celebrity families.
I did some digging around and found some old photos that go back many years. She was with him when she was very, very young, so she is in fact his adopted daughter. Some are saying this woman in the background here is her mother, but nothing is confirmed. You can see she's been with him in interviews, hanging out with Diddy's daughters. She was seen everywhere with Diddy's daughter. Here's another one. And I mean, they go way back. And here's a few more. So it shows that yes, indeed, they spent time together and they grew up together. This is in fact their sister and Diddy's adopted daughter.
After that awkward Instagram live where Ava appeared with Christian Combs, looking uncomfortable, barely speaking, and avoiding eye contact, she vanished. No new photos, no stories, no live streams, not a single post. What stood out most was the complete silence from the Combs family. Diddy, who once publicly claimed Ava as someone he rescued, didn't say a word about her sudden absence. Christian, who used to tag her in stories or joke with her online, scrubbed any mention of her. It was like she'd been erased. But fans noticed they had already picked up on Ava's uneasiness during that live stream. She didn't smile much. She looked tired. Some said her body language screamed that she didn't want to be there. People started asking, was Ava already being controlled? Had she been suffering all along? Then came the online whispers. Around the same time Ava vanished, social media started linking her to a missing person case, Ava Grace Baldwin. The names were similar, the timelines odd, and the confusion online only added more layers to the mystery. People speculated, was Ava using a fake name? Was she running from something? That's when internet sleuths started digging. On TikTok, old clips popped up, videos of Ava in random hotel rooms with barely any context. She looked isolated. In some, she was lip-syncing with heavy makeup, dim lighting, and what looked like coded captions. Some viewers suspected she wasn't just a guest in those places. They claimed it resembled the same kind of quiet desperation they've seen in trafficking victims who try to send out signals. It didn't take long before people started connecting those dots to Diddy's growing list of accusations. Was Ava silenced her own escape, or was she silenced by something bigger?
Who takes longer to get ready, your dad or you all?
Our dad.
Our dad takes so long to get ready.
We take like 2 hours. He takes like 3.5, maybe pushing 4. But it's worth it. He does it because it's worth it.
As Ava's strange disappearance gained more attention, so did her possible connection to Diddy's wider legal troubles. The disturbing part? Her alleged experiences line up with the same accusations seen in other lawsuits. Multiple women have accused Diddy of grooming, coercion, and using his status to control younger, vulnerable people. Ava's time around the Combs family fits that mold. Young, white, non-famous, yet constantly in their orbit. She was often described as adopted into the family, but no paperwork or formal guardianship was ever confirmed. Former bodyguards and ex-staffers have come forward in separate cases saying Diddy had a pattern of inviting young women into his homes under the guise of helping them, only for them to be asked to do extra work behind closed doors. Those stories mention heavy surveillance, NDAs, and silent compliance. Ava's case may be another example of this exact setup. What's chilling is that some of her alleged social media activity hinted at the same themes others have testified to: manipulation, fear, and grooming tactics masked as generosity. Online, more users began suggesting Ava may have seen more than people realize, possibly even witnessed things others didn't survive. Her closeness to Christian also complicates things. Did he know what was happening? Or was he another pawn in a much darker game? And if Ava's story fits into that puzzle, then this may be the most incriminating piece yet. The legal walls around Diddy are closing in. Christian Combs is currently involved in a lawsuit where the judge has already refused to dismiss key parts. That means real pressure is building, not just for Diddy, but for the entire inner circle. Now, rumors suggest Ava may be preparing to testify, either in Christian's case or one of the other federal investigations. If she does, her voice could become a critical turning point. Not only was she close to the Combs family, but she may have been one of the youngest people embedded in their private world. Meanwhile, Diddy is facing a growing pile of civil lawsuits. Some involve trafficking allegations, others deal with abuse, threats, and manipulation. And quietly, federal authorities are still looking into multiple angles. Many believe that criminal charges are a real possibility. Behind the scenes, the industry has started shifting too. Executives are backing away. Collaborators are pausing their work. Even people who once defended Diddy are falling silent. But media outlets? They're just now beginning to take Ava seriously, revisiting old footage, reposting her photos, and asking why no one looked closer sooner. Ava was once invisible in the Combs machine, but now her voice is echoing louder than ever.
Start in the US, where Sean Diddy Combs has been denied bail following his conviction for prostitution-related offenses.
Diddy built his whole brand around being the ultimate mogul, rich, powerful, always in control. He wasn't just selling music, he was selling the image of a self-made father figure, a man who took care of those around him. He called himself a leader, a provider, even a savior. But Ava's story rips through that image. She wasn't just some fan or distant family friend, she was living in his world close enough to see everything. And what she reportedly saw wasn't protection, it wasn't love, it was manipulation, secrecy, and possibly abuse. This isn't just about Diddy anymore, it's about how celebrities use fame to cover the truth. While the public saw red carpets and designer outfits, Ava might have been living through something very different behind closed doors. And Christian Combs? He grew up in that world. He watched it, inherited it. His own legal troubles are raising questions too. Is he just repeating what he saw? Did he learn that silence and power protect you, even when others are being hurt? Ava's story forces people to ask, how many others were used for clout, then discarded when they stopped being useful? Behind the glitz and glam, what kind of world was Ava really adopted into? Ava Baron's voice might be the first domino in exposing what truly happens in these so-called royal households of hip-hop. Whether she was used, abused, or something even worse, her courage to speak out may change everything. Her story isn't just emotional, it's powerful, because for once, someone from inside the Combs circle is breaking the silence. And when someone that close starts pulling back the curtain, there's no telling how far the truth could go. What do you guys think really happened to Ava? Is she the missing puzzle piece in Diddy's downfall? Or just the beginning of more secrets to come? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates.